I'm just observing today, offering support. I don't have a case. Huh? No, Paul's he's at a concert tonight. Good for him. Yeah, so they just like to have two staff people here, so I'm here for Allegra.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
if she needs
thinking,
anything.
did I miss something in that report that this is interest or, okay.
Don't call me for backup for something like that. No, thank you.
Well, it's good to see you here.
Good to see you. Yeah. Yeah. Seeing if they have anything like on weekends. Stuff on. Makes this, but. Be too difficult with
She'll be all right. Second case.
Yeah. Great. I'm gonna stay out during the year. Yeah. Yeah. Briar Cliff.
All right, everyone. It is 6 p.m. on February the 6th. We're going to call the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting for this month to order. Roll call. Let it be known that every single member of the zoning board, the esteemed board, is all here and present tonight. So good to see everybody. Thanks for the commitment. Minutes from the January 9th meeting. Anybody have a chance to peruse or edit?
I
Motion?
read them and I move to approve the minutes from the January meeting.
I'll second that.
Excellent. We have a first and a second. All those in favor of approving January's minutes? Unanimous? Those are approved. Any organizational or procedural items, staff? Okay. There's no unfinished business. So before we proceed to the new business for this evening, we'll start with the chairman's preamble, which states that the Zoning Board of Appeals is charged with the responsibility of granting variances to ordinance requirements after determining whether there exists an undue hardship upon an applicant. In determining whether or not to grant a variance, the board shall apply the criteria specified in the city code and ordinances to the facts of each case. Zoning Board of Appeals does not create zoning, nor can it change zoning. Matters brought before the Zoning Board of Appeals are to be concerned only with variances from requirements of the zoning ordinance, sign ordinance, and development and environmental ordinance. The board has no authority to grant variances for use, density, or height. Further, the board hears cases requesting an appeal to a staff interpretation or decision on these same ordinances. Final decisions of the Zoning Board of Appeals may be appealed by petitioning the Superior Court of DeKalb County within 30 days after the decision here is rendered. With that, we'll proceed to ZBA 24-22. Allegra, you walk us through that?
Right, thank you. So this is for 1727 Brandywine Court, and they're requesting a zoning variance to allow a home addition to encroach into the rear setback. So the subject property is zoned R100 and it's 0.34 acres. It's an irregularly shaped lot. As you can see, it has 5 sides instead of 4. The survey is shown to the right and the photos to the left show the existing rear of the home. A portion of the existing home is encroaching into the 40-foot rear setback, and there's a 10-foot drainage easement running along the rear edge of the property. So the applicant is proposing to add a 678 square foot 2-story home addition to the rear of the home. Part of the addition will encroach into the 40-foot rear setback by a maximum of 16 feet, prompting a variance request. You can see that shown in red on the site plan to the right, and the proposed rear elevation is shown to the left. So the subject property meets the minimum standards for lot area and width. However, the unusual shape of the lot, as I previously stated, it has 5 sides instead of the typical 4, constrains the buildable area. The rear and side property lines are severely tapered and the property slopes down 20 feet from the front property line to the rear property line, further reducing the buildable area. A portion of the existing house exists already in the 40-foot rear setback, making it challenging for the applicant to make improvements to the rear of the home without further encroaching into the setback. The proposed home addition is a relatively minor change to the existing home and appears to be the minimum necessary to afford relief. The proposed project would not constitute a grant of special privilege. With the home addition being on the rear of the structure, the house would not appear out of scale for this subdivision. Staff finds that the strict application of the setback requirements could cause practical difficulty by not allowing for incremental changes. And overall, staff finds that the project would not be detrimental to the public health, safety, or welfare, and that the request meets the spirit and intent of the zoning ordinance. Based on these reasons, we're recommending approval, subject to our 2 standard conditions shown here.
Thank you. Board, any initial questions for staff? No? With that, we'll ask the applicant if they'd like to approach the board and review your case. Just state your name and address for us, please.
I'm Jimmy Grunze. My wife could not be here with me. She's organized and running a fundraiser for a genetic screening event. So sadly, she is running around in downtown doing genetic screening stuff. So here I am. Thank you for saying, I'm glad I have some audience here. So thank you for suggesting the approval. And really twofold reasons. One, we love our neighborhood, 10 houses in the same cul-de-sac street, and we lived there for many years, and we don't see ourselves moving out of the house ever. So bedroom on the second floor is making us nervous down the road, so we wanted to make sure we have a bedroom on the first level. So that's the main reason. Secondary reason, our family is growing. We host a Sabbath dinner every Friday night, and we're becoming tight, 3 grandchildren and children. We're not able to fit the same table on the dining room table, so we would like to be able to fit our family. So that's twofold reasons.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure.
There may be questions, but not for now. Anyone else, I suppose, doesn't want to speak in favor? And there's, I didn't see any letters or anything as well, and no one in opposition to this request. So with that, I will turn it over to the board for internal discussion or questions or motions.
I always have to put my 2 cents in, based on a very oddly shaped property and it's a minimal setback. I mean, there's not, at 16 feet at the greatest point of what am I trying to say?
Incursion.
Thank you. All the above. So I don't have any issues with it.
Yeah, it's a 5-sided lot, which in itself is unusual, right? So one of our criteria is unusual topography, and that certainly qualifies for that. And I don't know what the incursion is currently, but 16 does seem minimal, and it's already right because of the lot that they're already in non-compliance. So you're just really furthering that just a little bit extension. So it does seem reasonable. No other questions?
No, I'm happy to make a motion though. I move to approve the request for a variance from chapter 27, section 58 to allow a home addition to encroach into the rear setback with the following conditions. 1, construction must be in substantial compliance with the submitted site plan prepared by Antidote Residential Design LLC and dated 9/28/2024, see Appendix A. And 2, if construction has not been commenced within 2 years of the granting of this variance, approval shall be void.
We have a first and a second motion to approve the application. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Thank you and congratulations. Yes, that's wonderful.
It's an opportunity to age a place. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
it's one of the Things that we're.
Our kids moved back to town from various areas and are working in town. And 3 grandkids and we're piling up.
I love that.
That's wonderful.
That's my dream.
Other business? Public comment? I don't believe there's any public comment. Is there board comment? I just have one comment, right? We probably all got the email for the work session on April 1st. Anything you can elaborate about that?
I wish Paul was here. I think he might have more info on that.
Okay.
But I believe it's intended to be similar. Please don't quote me on this, but I believe it's intended to be similar to the sort of retreat that we had with Planning Commission previously, where everyone got to discuss their sort of vision for Dunwoody and that sort of.
Sure, the planning
But I'm
commission
not-
had a retreat.
Yeah, but I'm not 100%.
We're finally getting invited to the party.
I think it was Michael Stein.
Yeah, it was Michael,
Our
it was Michael.
Economic Development Director.
That was part of my reason for bringing it up. Make sure you have it if you don't in your inboxes.
It's a weird email.
Well, not only that, but you're the newest board member, so maybe.
Yeah, he might not be up to date.
He
We
sent a
can-
save
we
the
can make
date.
an- We can make a note.
It
Okay.
might have been an invite,
Yeah.
actually. It was a save the date, I believe.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
actually a calendar invite.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll make a note, and I can try to find out more info for you all to give you all some more info on what that'll entail.
But it was
Okay.
not an April Fool's joke.
No,
was
that-
it?
Yeah.
it is April 1st, though. That's true.
Yeah, that's tricky, but no, not.
Just want to make sure the board had it on their radar and had received the notice, so. But that's all I have. And with that, we're adjourned.
Maybe that's what it is. I just saw that invite and I asked Paul about it and he was like, oh. It sounded like it was gonna be like that meeting.